I'm a Pisces.
Oh, is it? When's your birthday?
23rd of February.
Me being like, expose myself to someone who's like, oh my God, I love horoscopes. I'm Scorpio.
Are you?
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
you're a water sign?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're supposed to get on.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I get that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Gina. I'm here with musician and actor Little Simz, who plays Shelley in Top Boy, and these are her Netflix 9. What is it like starring in a show that is so big, so important to the culture, something that I assume you may have watched when you were like in school or whatever?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Surreal. This is something I used to watch when I was younger, and just remember feeling like finally there's something on television that represented us and our story and, you know, our culture, and now 6 years on to be a part of that. Blessed to be a part of it, for sure.
What was your reaction when you got the call about, like, okay, come be in Top Boy? But you're
Biggest smile on my face, and like I'm a smiler, but when I got this news, it's like my cheeks were hurting, like I just couldn't contain my excitement. Straight away called my mum, told my sisters, told my brother, and just everyone was just super happy.
In Top Boy, you play Shelley. What drew you to the role, and without any spoilers, what can audiences look forward to in terms of that character?
Her independence, her ambition, her fight and wanting to do more and be better regardless of, you know, the environment she came from, the circumstances she grew up in. The last seasons, you didn't really see like a female perspective. It was always like very from the guy's perspective, and I think these boys, they have mums, they've got sisters, they've got girlfriends. Their decisions and what they what they choose to do affects also, you know. So I think what's great about this new season is you get to see it from that female perspective.
So when it comes to your acting, did you always know that you wanted to do acting? Did that come hand in hand with you realising that you wanted to do music?
Yeah, for sure. As I started acting like before I even got into music.
Okay.
Anything within the performing arts I've just naturally gravitated towards. So parts and things, it didn't feel alien, it didn't feel foreign, it felt like making that switch between the two didn't feel like a challenge to me. Sometimes musicians or artists, like when they get a role for something, they bring their whole artistry to like the role, and I think it's important to separate the two.
And get you a guy that can do both, because you can. So, you know. All right, let's talk about inspirations. Who's your biggest inspiration or one of your biggest inspirations when it comes to creating?
For sure would be Lauryn Hill.
Ooh, that's a really good choice.
She killed it with acting and is a very, very talented artist, writer, and she just does it well. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like when you see her in Sister Act, of course, you know that's Lauryn Hill, but it's also a very talented actor. So
Absolutely.
You know
I almost like sometimes don't even connect the two because she's so,
But I think that's great, and that's like a very big inspiration for me, for sure.
If I were to describe you, I'd say your demeanour is very cool, calm, collected, opposite of mine, which is less chill. But if you were to sum yourself up in 3 words, what would those 3 words be? How would you describe yourself?
A thinker, compassionate, and ambitious.
So let's go back to music a little bit. Check I've done my homework properly. One of your first gigs was at the O2 in Islington.
Yeah.
Right. What's been your favourite gig of all time, if that was kind of like the foundations
of all time?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of shows, you know.
Yeah, because you're famous, but...
That show, the show you just mentioned, the O2 Academy, because I was so young, and I think getting on that stage and it all clicking, like, yeah, I'm meant to be doing this. Fast forward years later, Glastonbury this year.
Ooh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Ooh. 3 people, dead or alive, to go to dinner with. Who would they be and why?
Michelle Obama, Oprah, and Beyonce.
I'd just be serving. I'd just be like, anything, and water.
They're just really strong, powerful black women that I just feel like I can learn so much from, and I just soak up everything I can. And ask as many questions and just gain knowledge.
So you've had a really massive year, I would say. Not that I'm trying to put words in your mouth, but it seems to me massive, right? So your album was released, widespread critical acclaim. Right? They know about it. They know about the talent, do you know what I mean? They're sleeping, but they're awake, right? And that's overwhelming enough. And then obviously you're starring in Top Boy, as I said, so important to the culture, something that a lot of us have watched from growing up. Did you have any idea that 2019 was going to be as intense as it is? And do you find it overwhelming, or is it like, yeah, this is that time?
I didn't have the greatest 2018, and I think that sparked something in me. And sometimes, I think sometimes negativity breeds positivity, which is cool. But I definitely didn't expect it to be this wild, but I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
Yeah. All right, so I want to speak to you about as a North Londoner, right? You grew up in North London? North London through and through. I'm a South Londoner.
Really?
Yeah. So if you were trying to convince me to switch sides and convert to the North London tribe, even though that would never happen, I promise I'm still loyal to South London, how would you sell it to me?
Do you know what? It just feels like very communal, everyone knows each other. But the thing is with South feels like just very big.
Yeah, and the transport links are not as great.
Right.
We don't have a tube, really?
Right.
yeah, okay.
So that's the thing. Okay, so cool. So I think you'd be able to get around quicker in North.
Yeah.
Everything's you can walk places and.
Sims is gonna be
But I
Mary
don't know.
London.
I think if you, do you know what I'm saying? You've grown up in South your whole life. So
Yeah.
I'm not moving to South.
Okay.
So, not in that kind of way. But
that's
just
fair. That's fair.
You know
that's
what
fair.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But London as a whole is just a great place.
I agree, 100%. Sims, thank you so much for, actual official title, Little Sims. Thank you so much for chatting with me. And this was your Netflix 9.
Thank you so much.